Going live.
Well, you gotta let me know.
Just letting you know.
Why you let me know?
Just in case you want to
The
say something wild.
computer wants to make an appearance.
Okay. You can. You have already made an appearance. You'll forever remain in the hots. What's up, Maya? Welcome in, welcome in. We're gonna take some time to post the stream link around on social media and stuff, as we typically do, but honestly forgot last Wednesday, so we're gonna do a better job this time around. And we're gonna do an audio check here at the beginning, making sure we're sounding good and clear. Alright, I think I'm hearing audio, so that is good. We're going to copy a link for this stream, and we're going to go ahead and paste that onto Twitter, Threads, and Instagram. I guess my Tumblr as well. Although, I have found that links aren't all that important or helpful in Tumblr. At least they never really get any notes, so I don't think people really pay them any mind, that is. But I guess we'll go ahead and post there as well. So feel free to enjoy the music while we do all these things. Alright, so that is Discord. Let's also plug our Twitter. Alright, looking good. That is our Twitter. Now we're moving on to Threads and get that going. I need to have this automated somehow. This is be taking too long. It takes like 10 minutes just to get all these freaking sites linked up and whatnot. Alright, we have so we're going to add in a link onto Instagram picture. It will showcase a little bit of the art, so it gives people a little bit of a preview. Perfect. And then we're going to add in a little live sticker so they know it is happening right now. And then we will add in a little effect here. Good enough. And we'll add that to my stories. And then the last place that we'll post is on my Tumblr. And then we'll go ahead and kick off this stream. It's not posted in like that, I guess. All right. Alright, so we have posted on all my major platforms, which means we are ready to go ahead and get started with this. Audio was good and fine. We have the check complete, so thank you for checking. Probably won't be able to stay long, no worries about that. And anything new. So let's go ahead and switch screens and make sure my screen is actually being projected properly, which it isn't yet. So let's get that going first and foremost. Alright, we're going to give that a moment to work itself out, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to deactivate and we're going to reactivate that scene. Okay, so it looks like we are getting a live feed going. So we are good. So what's up? What's up? It is Mega, aka another drawing stream. Today we're going to add a little bit more structure to the streams. I know most of the times that I come on, I don't have an exact game plan. So this time I try to write out some specific things that I would like to work on, and then potentially things that I think could be useful as a viewer as well. I know I use these typically as a co-working kind of space, so I don't usually worry too much about the educational aspect of it. I think the rest of my videos kind of cover that. These are more of a chill vibe and just get better at art type of thing. A place to kind of just encourage each other to try new things out and experiment and show the behind the scenes. Hopefully the audio came back in. Let me double check. The reason that the audio cut out was because I needed to deactivate my video source, which also cuts the audio source as well. So it does look like my levels are back, so my audio should be working. But yeah, anyway, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering a little bit of anatomy, because I'm trying to get prepared for my next anatomy video, which will be covering the lower leg. So I've been working my way from top to bottom, learning anatomy. We started with the head, we went to the neck, then we went into the torso, and then we did the front and the back of the torso. Then we moved into the legs, we did upper legs, and now we're going to work on lower legs, and then we're going to do arms, and then I think we're going to finish out with some hands and feet. So I think I'm a little bit more than like halfway done. I think I got the important stuff done first. Like the torso is very, very important to understand. It's you kind of draw all your limbs out from the torso. So if you have a strong base like that, then the other stuff can be a little bit easier to accomplish and understand how to draw. So anyways, we're going to be doing some studies tonight just to kind of prepare for that anatomy tutorial video, which I should have done by next month. And also in terms of just like YouTube videos and stuff, I do want to, I don't have a time frame for this yet, but I do want to get back into analyzing stories, just like I made an arc analysis for One Piece. I want to keep on doing things like that, where I take like a section of a story or a story that I really like and just kind of break down either like the beginnings of it or just different structures that I think were interesting or just some tidbits of information, writing information and techniques that we can learn from it. So definitely be on the lookout for something like that as well. I'm always looking to do kind of more with this channel. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. That's kind of all for YouTube related stuff for right now, because my main focus is still on creating this story of Ignition, and I'm in the process of compiling scenes right now, which is really awesome. I talked about that last week, so just know that that's continuing. But if you want to get more regular updates that are outside of this stream, the best place to go is my Tumblr. And for a moment I was doing daily blogs. Now they're probably like weekly, but I'm going to try to post as often as I can to Tumblr, just kind of jotting down the different tasks that I've completed, issues that I'm running into, and future goals, endeavors, that kind of thing. So you guys can kind of see how much work kind of goes into something like this, but also to maybe gain some inspiration if you're also working on a long form project. And you're just kind of, curious to see how other people's work process goes or what kind of struggle points they have. I always just like talking to other creatives about that kind of thing. So feel free to check out my Tumblr. The second thing to check out would be my newsletters. I'm trying to have more people subscribe to that because that is like the ultimate rundown of everything that's happening. So it's an easy way to stay up to date on all new happenings. And I put quite a bit of work and effort into those. And the last bit of announcements is just art shows that are coming up. So in the month of February, on the I want to say the 10th, maybe the 15th. Let me double check real quick. I have a show coming up here in Columbus, Ohio. So if you're in the area and you're looking for pop-up shops and just to buy some local art or some jewelry, or there's going to be all kinds of things. It's kind of like a crafts fair and an art fair. Yeah, so it's going to be February 10th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it's a perfect time to, kind of get up in the morning and just have something to do at the beginning part of the day. At the very least, I'll have, sketches out and we'll just be talking with people and whatnot. So if you're bored, feel free to swing by. I will be tabling during that entire time. Also have some new artwork with me. And I think that's about all for announcements, honestly. Yeah, so with that out of the way, we're going to kind of just jump into this anatomy homework, start talking about that and what I kind of think about and the things that I look at and stuff to help me understand anatomy. So hopefully I can share some resources that will be helpful for you guys. And then after that, we're going to try drawing some couples poses, because one of the art goals that I have is to be able to draw like multiple people in a scene and interacting. That's where things get really tricky for me, especially when it comes to proportions and stuff. So it looks like we got all the announcements and things like that out of the way. So let's hop right into it. I'm going to create a new document specifically for sketching out some anatomy. So I'm going to grab the brush that I want to use. And it looks like our video cut out. So let me go ahead and fix that. I'm probably going to need help keeping just like an eye on that kind of thing. Um, so, one of the things about being a self-taught artist, you have to give yourself a lot of direction, like from yourself, to know what to study and what to practice, and you have to kind of create your own curriculum of sorts. So that is kind of what I've done for myself. Um, I try to think of like, okay, well, if I was, really in art school, well, what would be the different things I would need to learn? So there's the fundamentals. One of the fundamentals is honestly learning anatomy. And so I take a big topic like that and I just break it down into smaller sections and smaller chunks. Now, part of my learning style is always to turn around and teach, and that's really why I have this YouTube channel, is because in order for me to kind of gain the confidence that um, I need to be able to break it down in a way that I can explain it to somebody. Because if I can explain it to somebody else, I can explain it to myself as well. And the more times I teach it, the more things that I actually learn about it. And when you're in teaching mode, you're kind of forcing your brain to take in more information than you would as if you were just blindly copying something and just taking in information and not actually applying it and then being able to break it down in a way that other people could understand as well. And so one thing that I think is invaluable, and some people may disagree with me, but I feel like it is very important that everyone teaches, regardless of how many teachers there are, because I feel like everyone should be a teacher and should also be a student. Because if you think about it, all of our brains process things different. We all understand things slightly different. So when we're breaking things down for other people, there's almost an infinite ways of breaking something down for someone else, because there's so many different learning styles. So I think it's important for everyone to teach, because someone may learn something from you that they couldn't learn from someone else, regardless of your skill level. So there's that aspect that I think is really important. And that's not even taking into account the aspect of you being able to learn through teaching itself. So with those two things combined, I don't think there could really ever be too many teachings or tutorials out there. I think at this point it's just about organizing that information and making it easy to explore different kinds of teaching styles, and also trying to bring the important stuff to the forefront. But yeah, so if you're ever worried about like are you good enough yet or not, sometimes as you're learning stuff, it's good to journal down like how you think about things at different stages, because then if you wait until you're a master at something, it's going to be too late, and by then you're not really going to know how to connect with the previous version of yourself that just didn't know anything at all and actually needed stuff broken down into different kinds of steps. And so that's why not all masters are great teachers, and not all teachers are masters. So if you are a developing artist, think about, it doesn't have to be starting a YouTube channel. It could literally you be explaining your thought process in okay, yeah, take it easy, see you later, ma'am. It could be as simple as you writing stuff down in an art journal and just writing notes of how you do things, right? So you're still in that teaching mode, but you're not necessarily showing it publicly. But I do think it's still important to, still have some kind of teaching aspect. Okay, so there's a couple other resources that I'm going to want to take a look at while drawing the leg. One of them is Pose Maniacs. And Pose Maniacs, I'm going to be able to rotate around the leg and draw it at different angles. So we're going to go ahead and open that up. Welcome in, welcome in. I see a couple people popping up in the chat. Also, how's everyone doing tonight? What is everybody working on? Okay, I don't know if this is going to give me a copyright strike, but I also want to share a little bit of Proco's video because that's what I'm learning from right now. I will try to never be shy about sharing all my references and resources because I pull from a lot. That's what you should do. But we're going to take a look at this video. Proco has an entire series of not only free content, but also some premium paid content as well. So if his stuff seems helpful to you, take a look at his other tutorials as well. But yeah, we're going to watch a little bit of it. We're going to take a pause. We're going to take some notes on it. And we're going to kind of keep on drawing from there. Also, what's up, Blue? Yeah, what is up? I'm waiting for the stream. I'm probably going to be pretty quiet though. No worries. No worries. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a good streaming time. That's not too early. That's not too late. That works for myself, but also works for other people out there too. Like, I did enjoy doing morning streams, but I realized a lot of people couldn't do morning streams, either because they're working on their own project or going into work or something like that. So, which makes sense. I feel like more people are relaxing at night and can check out other things. But yeah, let's go ahead and click play and kind of listen to this for a second. So he does a really good job breaking down each individual muscle. And then I try to watch other anatomy videos that talk about muscle insertions. So that's my two main ways of understanding things.
Probably the most famous tendon of all tendons.
Achilles!
The Achilles tendon. That's all of this. The Achilles tendon attaches the gastrocnemius and soleus to the block of the heel. When the calf contracts, the Achilles tendon pulls up on the heel to straighten the ankle. So, soleus and gastrocnemius point your toes, which means the strongest calf muscles belong to the ballerinas. Maybe. I don't know. Let's get right to the heart and soul of the matter, the soleus. Soleus. Soleus comes from Latin for a type of flat sandal, which is a pretty accurate description of this muscle's form. We've seen mattress muscles like this before. Brachialis in the arm, vastus intermedius in the quads. We kind of blew off vastus intermedius because it's almost completely hidden.
What's up, Kage?
But the soleus is very much
Alright, good luck
visible
with the
on surface.
pages.
It can be seen independent of gastrocnemius, even on thin figures. It clearly pokes out.
Yeah, I got a lot of
the gastrocnemius. Soleus can
illustration
even
to
be
do
seen
for ignition right now.
here.
I did that earlier today.
And gastrocnemius is here, behind soleus. Kind of
Alright, let me take a look at that
very
soleus
much
again.
visible on the surface. It can be seen independent of gastrocnemius, even on thin figures. It clearly pokes out from underneath the edge of the gastrocnemius. Soleus can even be seen in front view, here, behind the tibia. And gastrocnemius is here, behind soleus. Kind of like stair steps. Soleus exists entirely below the knee, originating from the tibia and fibula. It's important to notice how slanted soleus is. High on the outside, low on the inside. Gastric medius has the same slant. If we zoom way out, this angle fits the pattern of alternating apexes throughout the leg, the zigzag of asymmetry. These are rhythms we seek to exaggerate when we want to draw dynamic anatomy. Roughly 2/3 down the leg, soleus begins to narrow and interlace with the Achilles tendon. It leaves a gap as it passes behind the ankle.
Alright, so I like drawing things from multiple views, so we did an entirely back view. Let's draw the soleus and the other muscle in, what is it, the gastrocnemius? The calf muscle, other calf muscle in a side view as well. So we'll have two kind of side-by-side comparisons. It's kind of helps us understand the volume and form a little bit better, and also see how they're kind of placed and situated within the bones of the leg. So let's take a look at that. Well, we welcome all the chaos in here, so yeah, feel free to pop back in, or if you ever need a break from working on them pages and you want to chat or whatever. Okay, so we're gonna try to draw on that. Actually, we should probably draw on the bones first, but whatever. Okay, so this is the bottom, the lower half of the leg bone. I don't know what it's called yet. I'm gonna learn the names and stuff later. This is gonna be just a pass of just understanding the forms and stuff tonight, and then I'm gonna do a more meticulous pass through of understanding these things at a later time. But I just want to go ahead and start getting used to the forms and whatnot, because I have been realizing that I have been applying a lot of stuff I learned in each and every one of my drawings. So like, I want to try to learn more stuff so that I can keep on applying it when I'm drawing more forms and figures, so I can really slot this information in into my brain in like a working capacity, because I don't really remember the stuff like cold hard facts. I can only really remember stuff in terms of muscle memory, and if I have like lots and lots of repetition, I like hundreds of repetition, and then certain things will kind of click in my brain without me having to think about it, which is good, because my recall isn't necessarily the strongest. So I am using this practice to really drill this stuff in, and then I try to apply it as quickly as I can, so that way I can really form those abilities to associate and connect the anatomy with actual figures and movement. Alright, so something like that. Yes, chaos elemental. Alright, so let's poke around in this video a little bit more. Glean a little bit more information.
Gastric medius. Now, the superficial superstar gastric medius. As important as soleus is, Mount Gastric is more of a focal point. It's probably the muscle you think of when you think of the calf.
Alright, so actually we're just going to stop there because this picture is a great demonstration of these muscles at work. So we're going to do a quick sketch of that as well. But yeah, I always say that drawing is a great tool to really improve your observation skills. Because otherwise, there's a lot of detail in life that you just pass up because you never take the minute to stop and actually observe and think about these things. But I'm telling you, with this careful observation, through the act of drawing, really cements information in a way that just looking at a picture and saying, yeah, I got it. Like it's just a different kind of way to learn, a different way to really notice something. So as a beginner artist, as an intermediate artist, or as an advanced artist, the best tip to always give is, you know, people always say like, oh, just draw a lot. But even though that's true, you want to pay attention to things as you're drawing them. You're not just drawing a lot. Like I would take a sketchbook and I would do as many things from real life as possible, just going around your town or your park or, you know, wherever you can find things that interest you, and just drawing in as much detail as possible, understanding the form and the lighting, and the proportion and the rhythm of things. Alright, so let's go ahead and give this a trial. So we're going to start with the big overall basic shape, which honestly to me looks like a bowling pin, an upside down bowling pin. Okay, we split the calf kind of in the middle here, and it creates two bulges on either side. Something like that. And now we just learned about the soleus, which kind of just peeks out slightly from over there. So you're going to be able to see a little bit of that. And then your Achilles tendon kind of is being inserted like this. So this kind of, you see a lot of the definition there, and then this flows directly into the foot. And this probably looks a bit funny in isolation. You know, typically you're kind of drawing the leg within the rest of the leg, and we're only drawing the lower half. But that's okay. That's okay for now. When we put it all together, it's gonna look fantastic. So this is gonna kind of bulge out into your heel area. Okay. Oh, that don't sound good. Let's try the MP3 version. There we go. Alright, we can kind of do a better job here, so I'm just going to this slightly down, zoom out, rework this muscle slightly. Alright, so what's gonna help define these forms is drawing in our contours. So we're gonna draw on these contours next. And so you're just following the form. And I'm telling you, these contours can make something feel much more volumetric really quickly. And like when you're designing clothes and things on top of the figure, you actually want to keep these contours in mind and try to follow them as much as you can, because that's what's really going to help help the form read and make it look more natural, I guess, because there's a certain kind of rhythm that happens between these muscles and stuff and these forms, and with the contours that really help showcase that and demonstrate that. You can make something look way more, I guess, believable by following these contours, and that's the important part of just not like jumping to just drawing the clothes and everything like that, and actually learning things from the ground up. When I first started drawing, I didn't think it was really super important to learn like the skeletal muscle structure and things like that, because they're going to be covered up anyway. But that's kind of could be the farthest from the truth, because even the things that are covering up still oftentimes show the form below. And in fact, if you show more of the form below, you can create something a little bit more believable. So if you're shying away from anatomy, I encourage you not to. Obviously, don't try to take it head on per se, but try to give it an earnest attempt to just learn a little bit here and there, and that's what I'm doing. Just learning a little bit here and there. Alright, so I'm kind of struggling with this foot over here. I know this isn't a video about the foot, but I kind of wanted to be able to get that looking decent. And it is just not happening. It is just not happening. I think that's the best I'm going to get for right now. Let's see, I wonder if I can... I'm going to try... I might get a copyright strike already from using the Proc video, but I'm going to try playing video game music from Genshin Impact, because I don't know if I've gotten a strike from that yet. I just want to test. We're going to use today's video as a test. I'm still figuring out my, process for streaming and everything like that. So, one of the days we're going to have it all together. But we're going to figure out what we can and cannot do. And all during that time, we're going to be having some fun while we do that. So. Okay, honestly, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Bite-sized chunks is a smart way of doing it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, everything seems a bit overwhelming when you look at all of it at once. So I know my comic making community here. They already know, that process of, all right, you want to do something pretty big, but it's like you then start breaking it down into smaller tasks, and you break those smaller tasks into smaller tasks, and so on and so forth until it's so small that it's finally manageable, and you just do one little piece at a time, and you slowly put that together. So yeah, I just apply it to learning art, or learning anything, learning music, or learning a new skill, learning cooking. It doesn't matter. Just try to get better at one little piece at a time. And it also makes it a little bit more fun and exciting to focus in on one thing at a time. It becomes like a little challenge to yourself to see how good you can get at that one thing before you move on. Alright, so we're going to keep on watching this video just to learn more about the muscles, because I'll show my screen. When I'm taking a look at this Pose Maniacs model, I'm not quite understanding all the muscles that are present within it. Like this side muscle right here, not sure what that is. Or this muscle in here, so we're going to kind of try to understand that a little bit more. So we're going to jump back to this video, put this on pause for a second, and we're going to take a look at this.
The hamstring tendons create this tunnel for the gastric medius to squeeze into.
Yeah.
This top region is normally hidden by a fat pad, but it's good to know the origin anyway. Gastric medius originates above the knee, on top of the femoral condyles, and it has two heads, one for each condyle. These heads tend to soften together to create a round bump. This is where the name gastric medius comes from. It's gastric, as in stomach, because the anatomists are throwing shade and saying that the calf looks like a big, round pot belly. Anyway, it really is two separate heads, and they split when the calf tenses. These heads are not symmetrical. The lateral head ends higher and tends to create an oblique edge that flows into the soleus. The medial head is bigger and rounder. You'll usually see it take a sharp turn inward to attach to the Achilles tendon. In essence, the lateral head makes a slash, and the medial head makes a hook. Together, they kind of make an upside-down heart. The gastric medius is most interesting where muscle meets tendon, about halfway down the lower leg. If you're idealizing the design, you can make the muscle longer on a female to get that sleek, feminine look that artists often go for, and a little shorter on a male if you're shooting to make your model look more masculine and accent their muscularity. There's a lot of variation in that proportion between individuals, and of course, when gastric medius contracts, the belly shortens. So if someone's wearing high heels or reaching for something up high, the muscle belly will shorten. Remember that slant. The Achilles tendon doesn't come in like this, but at an angle. Like vastus medialis in the quads, the medial gastric medius head is low and heavy and creates a round form where it meets the Achilles tendon. Now for the calf muscle's final form, the Achilles tendon. Despite the legends about its fragility, the Achilles tendon is actually the thickest and strongest tendon in the human body. It wraps around the lower third of the calf and funnels muscle tissue from soleus and gastric medius into a thick cable that anchors down on the heel bone. This creates a V shape. The narrowest point of the tendon is about 3 fingers width above the heel. So let's review. From inside profile, we can see how the gastric medius is big and round, while the soleus is wide and flat. The gastric medius meets the Achilles tendon at around the halfway mark. If we smooth things over, the calf looks like an upside down bowling pin, or a chicken drumstick, or a caveman's club. Except it's slanted, high on the outside, low and heavy on the inside. When the leg tenses, it splits into three forms: the two heads of the gastrocnemius and the soleus flowing down into the Achilles tendon. And that's what you need to know to draw the calf. Except, of course, all the stuff I left out of this video. That stuff is in the premium video.
Alright, so that's all we're going to get from that. That's all we're going to get from that. One thing I'm noticing, though, on my model is that I feel like I didn't maybe go down far enough for the gastrocnemius. So I feel like it should actually come down a little bit further, and I think that's why it looks just a little bit strange to me. I was kind of wondering why it looked a little off. And I think that's what the issue was, or at least part of the issue. So we're gonna kind of correct that. And with that, we are kind of done using that resource, and the rest of the stuff that we find out about this leg will be found using something a little bit different. I'll put a little bit of shading underneath there. How about that? And really, this tendon should more so come in like this if we're following perspective and form, and then should wrap down and around like so. Alright. And something like that. Alright, we're just showing the form, and that's looking about how I want it to look. Alright, now there's another personal reference that I have that I'm not going to share because it's from Manga Materials, and they just encourage people to go to their Patreon and sign up and stuff. So I will not share that one, but I think I'm going to draw something from it just to kind of understand maybe if there's any muscles to the side or the front, because we really only learned about 3 muscles there. So we're going to take a look at that. If I can find out where I would have saved that to. I have so much art stuff now, both from resources and art that I've created and so many different folders and whatnot. In any case, I think I found what I'm looking for, so we're going to take a look at this. We'll go ahead and get the music going again. All right. So this is the lower leg. Right now I'm drawing our left, or the person's would be right leg view from the front, and so we're gonna draw this bone first and foremost. draw on the metatarsals. Okay, no, we're actually not going to draw on the metatarsals, but we're going to go ahead and draw on just that knee socket type of thing, just so it's there. And just so we have practice drawing it. So we're going to draw on a muscle called the fibularis longus. And feel free to correct me if I am wrong on that. But that's going to sit off to the, what would that be, lateral or medial side? Medial, I think, is inner. I think lateral's out. Is lateral out? Oh, you have your headphones in? Is lateral outside or inside?
Outside, medial, middle.
Middle, okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, so if you guys are struggling with anatomy, find someone that's in the medical field, someone that does either orthotist or a prosthetist. They'll get you right. But yeah, so we're drawing this lateral muscle, the fibularis longus, that sits right to the outside of this leg. Okay. And insertions, they're both on the lower leg. It's not connected to the upper leg at all. You also have the brevis, but it's a really small muscle, and we don't really care about it while drawing. I don't think it really shows up all that much. Let's see here. Okay, so it's the outer view, inner view, medial. Got the Achilles tendon, soleus. I guess we can draw that in. So we're gonna draw in this soleus on this side. I might color code this here in a little bit to make it prettier. But we got the gastrocnemius that sits on the inside, and then this one that pokes just on the outside, just like that. So something like that. Okay. Flexor digitorum longus. So that's the soleus. So the soleus, you'll be able to see that in the medial and the lateral view, which we will draw next. But for the front view, that's pretty much it. I'm going to color code this so I can make sense of this when I look at it again. I'm just going to use, what, this? Yeah, we can use this. Alright, so we're going to draw that in, and then we're going to say pick a pink, go and draw this in, and then let's get, say, blue, and draw in our soleus, which fits in back behind here, and in here. Alright. So what about you guys? How is your guys' anatomy looking currently? Are you satisfied with it? And are you guys currently in the process of learning, or you're kind of at the moment where you're just like, yeah, no, I give up. I know what I know, and I'm gonna, you know, create my artwork and stories with my current skill set. Alright, so we're just gonna do two more quick drawings, and then we're gonna start moving into couples poses. Okay, so now we're going to draw the medial side. And the medial is, again, the middle, which again refers to the inside. So think of the inside of your leg. So we're going to be drawing the side view. So here we go. Alright, and so what you're kind of noticing here is that on the front side of the leg, it's just pure bone. There's like no muscle surrounding that. Which, if I feel down, yeah, you can just feel your shin, and it really is all just bone right there. So that does make sense, but I did want to look at a bunch more references to just make sure that truly was the case. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to shift this down slightly. This is a little bit too high up, so we're going to put this about right here. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to draw out this kind of heel that sits a little bit like that. And also, when you start learning more of human anatomy, you start understanding how people come up with like car designs and stuff like that, because you'll find rhythms and shapes that are very popular in like vehicle design, maybe even some like building design as well. But truly, artists get inspiration from everything. So once you start realizing that, you begin to understand how you can have your own creativity and pull in designs and things that you find interesting, either from the human body or from insects or patterns you see in nature. Anything like that goes pretty much. It's all about the observation. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw in our gastrocnemius first and foremost, and it kind of hooks into that little pocket that the hamstrings create, just like we kind of saw in the video. And it's going to come down, it's going to attach here to the side. Remember that kind of halfway thing that we learned too, so you can make it a little bit higher if you would like. Again, the shape just depends on the human, just depends on the person that you're drawing. But anyways, something like this. Alright, and then we're going to draw in our, what would that be? The Achilles tendon that comes down. And this is going to come down into that heel, just like so. Draw the rest of that, and then the soleus is then right behind that Achilles tendon, and that's going to insert as well into the tendon as that goes down into the heel. Alright, so now we're going to put some color to that, which I just realized I messed up a little bit, which is fine, but I want to correct that now. Alright, Blue says, I've been doing a little bit of both, less looking at muscles and more at references. I'm being forced to learn to draw different poses for a project I'm working on. Well, that's good. Sometimes certain projects can really take you out of your comfort zone and make you develop a whole skill set that you even think that you necessarily needed. But then the time calls for it, and it's like, hey, now you know how to do that. Nice, that's what's up. So we're going to merge these layers together. References of people standing, not muscle, is what I meant. Okay, so that makes sense. And honestly, that's like better when you're actually going for like that final product. The only time I do this like muscle thing is for the understanding, and then that just kind of how do I say, informs. When you look at those references, you know what's going on underneath, and it just gives you that confidence to pick apart that reference and start exaggerating some of those muscles or taking away some of those muscles or making them more slender. You kind of know exactly what to do because you know how those muscles function. And if someone's going to be bulkier and is like working on those muscle groups, they're going to be more pronounced and more stressed or whatever the case may be. So it's like, it's one of those, like, it helps with the confidence things, but it's not a necessary thing to necessarily have or do. But yeah, that's definitely a better starting point. I'm just doing the due diligence part because I've never done it before. So I'm starting to get into that. But yeah, how's your story going? How's Dark Horse? I have been meaning to watch more videos. I've just been like hyper focused, and so I haven't been keeping up as well as I have in the past. But definitely going to be getting back on that. I saw a couple of your videos drop that looked really interesting to watch. So. Okay, so let's make this red because I haven't used red yet. So we'll make this like this. We'll add that in here in the back. All right, and we're gonna make this canvas size a slot bigger again. We're gonna see if this works, but I want to move this leg just over slightly like this, and that did work. Cool. Alright, so we're gonna do just one more now. Now we're gonna draw the lateral side view. This is gonna be the last side view that we do. We might do some practices after this to really connect these muscles with now what it looks like superficially. But yeah, I know, I don't know, I felt really long overdue, and I felt like I didn't feel like a failure of an artist, but like I purposely put it off because I knew I wasn't ready, but that I've been ready to learn it for a while now, but I just felt intimidated to actually go in and learn it like I should. But it actually ended up being really fun to just dive into it and like find all the resources and stuff. And I'm actually honestly really happy I waited until now to really learn it, because the resources available, there's just more resources available. Assus soleus. What's blue? Oh, the flexor hallucis longus. Okay. And I'm just more confident with like representing form now. So like, yeah, I'm kind of glad I did put it off and just actually more so focus on creating some body of work first. So on the lateral side, we're going to see a lot of the same things happening. It's going to look almost identical to the medial side, which is good for us. That's less stuff that we have to remember when we're going in and creating this stuff. Blue says, I've finally taken Dark Horse off of hiatus on Comic Fury, so I'm stoked for that. Yo, let's go. That's what's up. Nice. I'm sure that's a really good feeling, because mine has been on hiatus for who knows how long. Although I don't know if I've appropriately assigned it to it being off on hiatus. But really I should, because I haven't been actively updating it in quite a minute. Really close to bringing it back. And I can't wait to have those humble beginnings again, because the start of this is definitely going to be a learning process. It's going to be definitely very humble beginnings. We'll get into it. Also, by the way, do we have any fans of Genshin Impact in here? I haven't played much of it, but I do play its music a lot, so I'm kind of curious if I have any fans in here. What is your current posting schedule like? How many times do you update in, say, like a month? Do you release like a whole bunch like all at once, or do you kind of do it weekly? Or also, for those of you here that don't know Blue Dragon, she is a fellow YouTuber, Comic Furian, and she hosts the Comic Fury zine. So it is a zine that features all the artists that have I shouldn't say all, but that feature artists that post their work on Comic Fury and decide to participate in a zine. It is something that happens 3 times a year. I think 3 times a year, maybe 4 times. I'm pretty sure it's 3 times. One for the summer, one for the winter, and there's like one in between, or something like that. But anyways, there's been a lot of work going on for that, and so it's not out yet, but I'll try to provide updates on the zine for that. And if you are a comic artist, I do recommend checking out that zine and also just Comic Fury in general, because it may satisfy all your comic hosting needs. You can create custom websites, and it's so easy to upload. There's a great community there. There's also ability to gain some feedback for sure, but also just to get some eyeballs on your comic. They have some discoverability. That's the word I was looking for. They have some discoverability. When you post a new page, you do come up in, you come up on the actual like website main page, like as you would go there. So there is some ability for discoverability as well. So I don't know, it's just been a cool site that has been going on for so many years now, and really was a great way for me to get into comics and learn more about them at a time where the internet was not what it is like today, with all the resources and things that are out there for artists and comic artists. You can find just about everything now, but the forums and stuff on there were really good. A lot of talented artists. So anyways, that's my plug. I'm not sponsored or anything. It's just a pretty cool spot to host your comic. And even just to mirror, I know some people are into like mirroring their comics on different places. Great way to do that too. Okay, so correction, there's usually just two zines a year. And there's going to be three this year because of one of them was being pushed back. But yeah, still a lot of opportunities to get involved. Since it happens, pretty frequently, and they're short stories that you would submit, so it's a great way to just practice writing and also just gain some exposure. Alright, so we're going to add some color coding to this as well, and we are going to move on. Blue says, I don't play Genshin, but the art is pretty. Yeah, I not only from the game, but I also see so many like artists doing fan art for it, and really just a lot of incredible artwork from those artists and from the official artists for the game itself too. And also it's just, I don't know, the music is like, I like orchestral music, and this is like, perfect orchestral music. It's got its calm songs, it's got its more lively songs and everything like that. It's great for a creative session for me, so I'm always coming back to it. Blue also says, I definitely want to know when Ignition updates. So I keep on kind of pushing it back. I wanted to start updating in January, and then obviously January is here and it's gone, and I'm still compiling scenes. So then I made a timeline, and for January and February and March, and so I was supposed to have beta readers in February, and then try to start uploading episodes / scenes again in March, like the start of March. But at the rate I'm going, I think it's going to be later than the start of March. And so I'm not going to put another time to it just yet because I haven't redone the timeline. But I'm going to try to push through and see how much of it I can compile and get to some beta readers. Because the idea is to finish, have some people read it, provide some feedback, do some edits, and then go from there. And I'm still not expecting it to be perfect or the art to be completely finished. It'll probably mostly be storyboards and like semi-complete backgrounds. But I just wanted to start going again, because I am probably going to be transitioning from being a full-time artist to doing my main career path again full-time. And so I want this going on in the background while I save up again and write more of the story. And it's kind of going to be a little bit of a cycle where the project gets bigger, more developed, and more finalized as I go along and get more feedback and gain more skills, and just have generally more time, and also as my art business scales up. So this was my first year doing it full time, and just seeing what income could be generated from doing this full time. So yeah, all of these things are kind of just slowly building over time. Soleus, that's purple, and purple's lateral, and so it should be that muscle right there, which should be sky blue. So yeah, definitely updates this year though, and in the first half of this year. If it takes a little bit longer than updating in March, I'm fine with that, as long as it happens in this year though. That's the main goal. So yeah, so expect stuff soon. I'll try to be interacting more on Comic Fury too when that time comes as well. Okay, and then this is a new muscle I'm trying to represent, so we're going to use a yellowish green, and that muscle sits right in here, kinda. I don't like that yellowish green. Let's use like a pink maybe, because that's not, the yellow screen's not really showing up, something like that. Oh, you know what? I'm doing that all the way wrong. I'm supposed to be showing this muscle right here. There we go. All right. So here we go. That concludes leg day for right now. Yeah, exactly. It's very nice and chill music. Towards the end of this OST, it does get a little crazy, but it's the type of music that I can draw with for a couple hours before I'm like, okay, let me switch it up. If you have a commission page, I can share it on Twitter or give you a shout out on YouTube. Small following, but I have had quite a few subscribers join recently. Nice. Yeah, I can. Yeah, maybe I can share it with you, so you can share it on Twitter, something like that. Did you say Twitter? Yeah. I'll have to upload something to Twitter, and then I'll have to make it so it's easily shareable. I made like a Google form, and I haven't made a public post yet because I just didn't know how many commissions I could take on at once, so I'll still kind of need to decide that. But in the past month or so, I've been doing a little bit of work for some other community members in the area that I live, so yeah, that would be sweet. That would be greatly appreciated. The main thing that I've been relying on has been doing conventions and selling in stores. Those have been probably the best ways for me, so people can actually see stuff in person. I'm still trying to figure out the whole like being online / selling online. Speaking of which, I do have an online store for those of you watching. But really in the online space, I want to create some like digital products specifically for people to like be able to view and interact with my artwork on the device that they're buying it from, which I feel like will make it a little bit more special to buy offline, because it's like an online exclusive type of deal, and not only that, I think it'll help with distribution and also just waste. Honestly, like prints and stuff are great, but I haven't quite found paper and ink that is like 100% good for the environment. And as a very small business, I don't really care too much, but if I'm going to scale this up, I do want to make sure that like all my stuff is of quality and also is not like destroying the environment in any kind of way. So that's something I'm just kind of keeping in mind, and so I'm still trying to figure out this online thing, but I do have a shop and I do ship. I'm just trying to figure out like how to properly like market it and promote it. I've seen some other people do some interesting things, some cool things, but yeah, that's just a work in progress. All right, So let's move into the next section, and what we can do. Well, we'll leave that off for now. Okay, so we're just going to create a new document. Also, for some of those new viewers in here, this is some design work that I've been doing and I've done. This is some storyboarding I'm doing for Ignition. Here's some more design work. And this is what we've been working on so far today. Alright. So we're going to start off with something simple and easy. Let's see what we want to do here. So yeah, one thing that I've struggled with has been doing group shots, and so we're doing couples poses first because it's just two people, and then we're gonna just keep on increasing until we can draw multiple people in scenes doing whatever, whether it be cooking or having a party or playing board games or whatever the story or scene calls for. We're gonna keep it pretty simple though, and keep it kind of just more so the mannequin side of things. We're not gonna try to make these characters necessarily very detailed. We might add in some some clothing things here and there, but that's not really the purpose of this. The purpose of this is just to be able to practice. So let's do that. Alright, so this one was a little bit easier because it's not a very full body shot. So we're gonna slowly make it more and more difficult. gotta run and snack dinner. I'll leave this going for the algorithm. Hopefully this won't take too long. Alright, thank you for letting it go for the algorithm. I appreciate that. Yeah, I sometimes leave things on lurk a lot because I'm like working on something, so I don't want to be too distracted. So I'll have people's streams going on in the background while I'm getting stuff done. So honestly, I'm just thankful that you came by in the first place. So thanks for coming through. Alright, so I'm gonna, I think, maybe switch my audio if I can. You know, typically don't do this because I don't have any of my songs over on the other desktop, but since I'm playing from YouTube, I might be able to use my desktop audio. I'm gonna see if it's what the quality is like, so give me a minute to see if I can get that set up or not. Let's see, so that is 480, 20. Okay, so we're gonna try something here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Join the stream and check out this audio, see if it plays through. Hello, hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so you guys let me know if you can still hear me. Okay, so it looks like it's playing Alright, so I'm going to adjust that audio up and down. You guys tell me when there is an acceptable level. My partner is trying to go to bed, so I'm going to try to be a little bit quieter. Not have music blaring, so let me know if you can hear me still. Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, how does that sound? Does that sound good? Let me know. And I am going to I'm going to clip my mic onto my hair so that way it's as close to me as possible. So I can talk quieter too. Okay, so we'll try that. Let me know if you guys can hear me a little bit clearer as well. That's clipped as close to my face as I possibly can get it right now. It's kind of a lavalier mic. Alright, so let's do this. Hopefully this is a good level. Just did a little bit of more fine tuning there. Y'all let me know. try not to make too many breathing noises since I'm close to the mic now. I'm trying to monitor myself as I go. Alright, so we're going to do this and this and that and that. So we're going to add in a little bit of this side profile. I'm not going to get too crazy detailed with it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think I'm about call it quits here in a little bit. We're coming up just on 2 hours now. But yeah, just trying to practice drawing in these figures. We're going to do a really quick sketch to do a cool down, and then we're going to call it a night. Yeah, you know, these sessions are just to practice things and keep on learning and keep my art muscles moving. And yeah, this type of drawing is always the hardest for me, just figuring out how two figures kind of look when they are interacting with each other and keeping the proportions right. It's just a challenging thing to do. I'm not sure why that won't move it around. It's so strange. Oh, I think my Bluetooth stopped working. Yeah, it stopped working. That's annoying. Oh, either that or... No, my Bluetooth isn't stopped working. I just need to switch it back to this keyboard. Didn't realize that I was using something entirely else. Alright, now it should work. Let's see. No. Oh, there we go. So we're gonna... Oh, nope. Do something like that. Merge these selected layers and okay, this. Again, this is a quick sketch, so I need to try to not be detailed with this. And we need to just try to get down what's happening here. The direction things are moving, and that's about all. And I come down a little further. There we go. There we go. Right, and then that's going to be it for the couples drawing sketches and poses. This is just a great way to work on forms and work out your anatomy and just really apply what you're learning. And then to answer your question, Blue, it is not a Bluetooth stylus. It's actually a Wacom EMR stylus, Wacom EMR technology. So I do all my art on a Samsung Notebook 9 Pro. And what am I trying to say? Yeah, I do all my art on a Wacom or on a Samsung Notebook 9 Pro, and so they use like the Galaxy Tab stylus, which is all EMR technology stands for like electromagnetic resistance, and so it doesn't need a battery or anything like that, and as long as the screen works, the stylus will work. So it's not Bluetooth stylus. But what wasn't working was my Bluetooth keyboard, or at least I thought it wasn't working, but I just had switched the Bluetooth from my drawing laptop to my streaming PC, and I forgot to switch it back. So it was all on me. It was just a simple mistake. But yeah, with that being said, we got a lot of artwork done tonight, and we got to talk about a lot of stuff, which is cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream, and it was some good background for you guys getting some work done on your own. To wrap up, I do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Sometimes I do it in the morning, but most often than not, I'm doing it in the evening. Again, where you can find me is my Instagram, Tumblr, and my newsletter. Links are in my bio. And yeah, if you want some daily updates about how I'm getting closer to Ignition launch, follow me on Tumblr. That's going to be the best spot. I post there probably the most frequently, and I'll probably be posting these sketches and leg sketches up there for you guys to take a look at in potentially higher quality. I don't know. Tumblr does do some compressing, but in any case, it was fun, and I'll be back with another one real soon next week, and just be on the lookout for drawing tutorials, because I'm working on that stuff. So that being said, I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, peace guys, until next time. And yeah, it is pretty cool. Thank you. Let's see. Thanks, Blue. Good night, everyone. I wonder if this is paused. No, it's not. Is there audio coming through? Nope, no, that's not true.